I'm sitting here with our dear Baba Lawrence. Brady. And that's Brandy. The one that was barking in the background. Okay. So Baba Lawrence just walked in the door. Tonight we're here at Good Food for Us, brought to us by Marguerite Bot. Did I say it right? Israel? Yeah. And she has brought us good food to eat tonight. And just to accompany that, Baba Lawrence is going to share his words with us on his perspective of Hidden Colors 3, which premiered tonight at Exchange Cultural Institute at Lancaster Road in Keast. It's a very special place for us. It's been there for a very long time. And tonight they premiered the film that a lot of people have been anticipating. So Baba Lawrence just came back and he loved you all so much that he has not touched his plate of food. It is so tantalizing. And you could come and get some too. But he took the time to tell us what he thought of Hidden Colors 3. So Baba Lawrence, tell us what you thought of the film.
Well, my dear angel, let me do it like this. We'll talk about what was good about the film, what was not so good, and what we can do to be in a better position the next time something like this happens. What was good about the film is that they shared a lot of good information about the black struggle. Things that have happened to African Americans in the U.S. since we've been here, from slavery till today's time. Had a lot of experts, good people, like Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Booker T. Coleman, Phil Valentine, all the top scholars on black studies were there talking and adding their, oh yeah, don't let me miss the sister Shiraza Ali. She was there also. And what they did was give us, the viewers, a lot of good insights on the things that have been done to us in the past. And one of the things that I heard that I thought I knew black history, but one of the things I heard that I didn't know was that black folk built Buffalo, New York. When the Underground Railroad was going on, it was black folks who stopped and settled, started the city of Buffalo, New York. So the good side is one of the good sides is that they threw out a lot of good points. I think another good thing about the movie was that people from all walks of life came together to focus on what they could do or say to help the black community. You have people from economics like Dr. Fraser, who owns the company Fraser Net. They had rappers like Nas and David Banner. So there was a strong mix of people from different areas to focus on the problem.
So Baba, you know, I'm sure, of Hidden Colors 1 and Hidden Colors 2. Mm-hmm. So this is Hidden Colors 3.
Yes, it is.
And I know that there's a third one because there's probably more information to be presented that wasn't there before. So what are the key aspects that really, really snapped to you that said that it was necessary for our people to see a 3? What are some of the, I know you mentioned different perspectives, there was a vast variety, but what were some of the things that they were talking about that really honed in with you that you hadn't heard before, if any?
Okay, well, I just mentioned one, the fact that blacks have started a lot of cities that we don't know that we really started. Or at least I didn't know that we really started. Buffalo, New York is one of them. Another thing that was interesting that they brought out is that in New York, there was a black space called Seneca, which is really a short name for New Senegal. Okay? When the emancipation ended and slavery escaped in the middle of the city, black folks had a settlement called Seneca. Years went by and they changed Seneca to Seneca Park. Years went by and the city, under the eminent domain law, kicked all the black folk out and called that place Central Park. So today, Central
So
Park
that's
in
the
New York
history
City,
of
yes,
Central
I
Park
didn't know that.
that a
I
lot of
didn't either.
people, just as us, did not know.
Right.
So would you say just that piece of information in itself is enough to go and see the film?
Yes, I would say just that information alone. But what we have to understand that it's late in the game, and just getting information alone for black people is not enough. We've been getting information for the last 40, 50 years about the misdoings and the way we've been mistreated. Everybody black knows about racism, and or most people, maybe there may be a few who don't know, but most of us have heard those stories over and over. Today it's time for action and moving forward. Now we're getting into the things that maybe were not so good about the film. The film was very light on solutions. You had some brief, let me say brief things were thrown out, like black folks need to boycott, black folks need to start businesses, black folks need charter schools to train our own children because the public school system is a failure. Well, those are broad overviews of what we need to do. But for action to come from us, we really need to get down into things like the details of making those things happen. What was pointed out in our struggle for uplifting the community is that we need a commitment, a unified commitment. They pointed out how one of the reasons the Montgomery bus boycott was so powerful is because they had unity. Did y'all know, didn't one person ride the bus when Rosa Parks got off of the bus and said, we're not going this way anymore? Not one black person in the whole city rode the white bus. The white bus company started losing money.
And then I do
That was that I knew that.
Yeah.
And that right there is so powerful because as a whole you able to make a grave impact. And so that meant that that issue was prevalent enough to a mass majority of black people, enough where they all was in agreement to suffer the consequences that it took from the benefit of riding the bus, the lenience that it took, And so I always understood that for people to just actually pull together, that's power. And I really believe, even though we got a strong community right here in DFW, we have yet to experience that type of unison on a common goal.
I would agree. Now, speaking more about the things that maybe that I thought weren't so good, there was very little talk about Africa. You see, the information and the facts that we viewed dealt primarily with us being here in America and as slaves. Okay. And some people will consider that you studying the slave history. You can't grow, you can't evolve from a study of a slave history. Okay.
Well,
there should have been more.
It's because they had hidden colors. One that kind of started from the beginning. Like
oh well, it could. So I think it could have been.
It was like a maybe,
okay.
But I haven't seen it, so I'm just thinking that maybe.
And you could be right. That could have been the reason. But I would have liked to see more talk about things that happened on the other side of the water. Building of the pyramids,
or even show the relation in it.
The great civilizations in Mali, showing the relationships between that and here, so that our children would have some positives to look to.
Or be able to make that connection.
Be able to make that connection, you see. Well, there was very little of that, and that kind of disappointed me. Last but not least, and this might raise a lot of eyebrows or make people mad at me, but I'm going to say it anyway. The whole talk was a revisionist talk. It wasn't a nationalist talk.
When you say revision, please elaborate.
Revise. Fix America. Reform America. As opposed to building a black nation.
I have a question. one thing that I have wondered with
well, Baba Lawrence, thank you so much for your time. You know, we really appreciate you and your insight. And we're going to take some more questions from other people and their take, because we know that some other individuals went and seen the film as well. So we want you to enjoy your food from Good Food for Us. You can visit our website at www.goodfoodforus.com, and you can get all the information necessary. And we'd like to see you here. So thank you, Baba.
And thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. We love you.
Love you too.